This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties, and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm, and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be happy, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, or meeting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be happy. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another, even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child. So with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being free from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, talk about meditations. You don't talk about meditation, you do it basically. You can't do the letting go because if you do letting go, you're still doing something. Yeah, still stuck within the loop, So, so a lot of times we ask, how do we do the letting go then? This turns back to the Four Noble Truths again. It's basically through understanding that you will let go, because you need to understand why first you're suffering, because you're holding on something else. holding on the thought or on the body, that's basically just suffer. Our expectation, I always found hope and expectation is the main killer of meditation. And when you don't have that much hope, or when you success on certain meditation, you see that there's no hope there. You don't hope that your mind to be peaceful, or you don't hope that you're a holy person. And you can see that actually expectation or wanting is the main killer. And it's just, once you understand that, definitely you give it up. It's just like the second noble truth. You give up the origin of the suffering. And once you give up the origin of suffering, definitely you experience the cessation of it. And the cessation of suffering basically, yay, happiness! And then if you do it so much, then you understand the path. That's why you cultivate this path. You come to the Dhamma group, brainwashed by each other, so that you can be peaceful. And then it's such an interesting path, you can say that this path. It's just like you're on an experiment journey, that you experiment how you make yourself peaceful and how it triggers you. And that you can see that this meditation also help you on your daily life. That's why how you behave in your daily life will affect your meditation also. You can't trick yourself to meditate. It's just like a habit, how you be with other people. That's how you will treat your mind also. So it's very interesting path. You can say that this whole path of meditation, it just always interlink and interconnect within each other. And more you do the meditation also, you can see that more peaceful you are on your daily life. It just interlink. That's why there's no trick. And there's no like bargain system on this meditation. It's not like, oh yeah, I put this money on the donation box today, so make sure I buy some peace. It doesn't work that way. But you can notice that also when you do like, you put money on the donation box, or you do some charity or help out some people, you straight away can feel this boost of energy, this happiness within you. And then this happiness, if you bring to your meditation, it just gives you a good lift up. And the easier you are to meditate. Just like I keep on encouraging my mother, because these earlier years on his Chinese New Year, he feel a little bit depressed because I didn't go back to see her. And my elder sister also at Singapore didn't go back because of busy teaching the kids for the exam. And I tell my mom, you need to go and do some charity work. So now he's joining all these Tzu Chi charity work and helping out people, doing some phone counseling at Mitra Line at Penang, basically. That's where she stays. And she tell me, it's like if you work without money, you can feel that happiness compared to work for money. And I say that's really true, because once you give something, didn't expect anything back, you instantly feel this joy and happiness. It's just like letting go. It's a part of letting go, but more active. And you bring this quality to your meditation that just give you a boost, basically. And then you can sit down. Because you're relaxed, you have this good energy. That's why you can relax with your mind also. Because you feel It's weird, you can say. You feel you worthily to be happy. But I can tell you all today, since you all joined into this Amadel group, all of you are worthy to enjoy this happiness. The whole day of your work have been done. So now is the time to relax yourself. So that's the perfect. You can say that it's like not putting more information or entertain yourself with some TV program. Once you tune into this peaceful and letting go, you can find you're much more addicted to this peace compared to all this information outside that keep on pushing you, demand you to understand them. And meditation or letting go is you don't need to understand much. So for me, when I started to learn meditation, I always found it's just so, I'm so analytical, you can say, because I'm trained as an engineer. I work at Intel as a programmer, so you analyze a lot of stuff. And then how I trick myself to get out of this analyzing is basically instead of analyze what is physically happen inside here, you feel it. You use your feeling more. Because his feeling for me is so alien that time that you can't put a label on it. Because you can put a label on it, you're much more to easily accept whichever is happening now. So try it out. Use your feeling to feel what is currently happening instead of try to analyze it. And you found out once you started to analyze anything happen currently, it's very interesting. You're analyzing the past. It's not what is happening now. And you just miss what is happening now. And you can find out, once you analyze, it's like you can feel that also your body tense up. And that indicates that there's so much stress on you when you try to analyze or interpret stuff. You're not relaxed with whichever is currently what you're feeling. And then more you relax, you can find also more information or more feelings you feel on, which is currently happening. And you need a lot of courage also, just to accept what is happening now. And you learn from it, basically. It's just like you can accept whoever you are. It's all right to be this way or that way. And then you can see that all this feeling or currently what you thought is also very interconnected to which previously what is happening. Just give you an example. If you're really like previously you've done something angry, it's really weird. So you can feel that sometimes this anger gives you a boost of energy instantly. And then after that, with this boost of energy, then after that you feel this drainage of it. You feel this guilty. And also you can feel that this mind is shrinking also. And then if you see this cause and effect, the next time when this trigger of energy coming up, this anger, you can say, I'm not going to react with it. I'm not going to get angry. Because you can see that it's not going to be helpful. And that's how, through the understanding, you let go of this anger. It's just back to the Four Noble Truths again. So we can say that Buddhism is just a discovery of this world. It's not really Buddhists own this Four Noble Truths, but it's just describing this nature, what is happening out there, and how can you flow much more easily with this life. and let go, basically. And it's an interpretation just like the law of Newton, that's gravity. It's not like before Newton discovered gravity, there's no gravity, everyone floats around. Everyone still stands on the ground. So Dharma, or the Four Noble Truths, is just the same thing. It's just describing how this world works, how this interaction, how letting go can be happy on your life. It can be peaceful, not just demanding. So it's just another way of saying what religion is, especially for Buddhism. And back to meditation. Talk about meditation. Why meditation is so stressed in Buddhism? Because you can see that if you have clearer mind, you can see better, you can understand your interaction better also. So why letting go is part of it is because sometimes our knowledge is always in front of us. We try to tweak our knowledge to fit the truth. No, sorry, another way around. We try to, whatever the truth in front, we try to use our knowledge and box it in so it fits whichever we are expecting. But this letting go of this boundary, you understand what is the truth in front of you better. It's just like when I first hear this information, it really shocked me. In the Buddhism, it says that if you want to destroy rebirth, actually that's the cause of rebirth also. Because you're expecting something to be destroyed. That's why you create yourself and you want to destroy it. And another thing, how you can understand much more simply is actually, if you want peace, that you create something tension so that you can let go. And I found out so many times in my meditation I did that. Because you want to feel peace or relax, you tense up certain part of the body unintentionally so that you can let go of it. It's not really there, but you make it so that you can relax. It's such a, you can say, the mind is tricking itself to let go, but it's not really there. But when you went through that process more, you can recognize it. It's already peaceful, but your mind wants to pick up something to get more peaceful. It doesn't work that way. So that's why Ajahn Brahm like to say that the peace is within the peace also. It's just like the beautiful breath is within this normal breath. Don't go and search for it. Because once you search for it, you will create something to do it, basically. So it's quite interesting anyway. So that's why when you observe this mind, it's just like, it's such fun, you can say. How much stuff you can do. So now we will do some guided meditation. Since I say so much, now we start the laboratory work. So make sure you sit yourself comfortably. And let's have fun. So don't feel like there's another duty to be done. You already finished all your duties. Already finished your dinner. And you can relax this body basically. Because it's a Zoom meeting, if you wish to, you can tune down your light. Or just lie down on your bed. I don't mind. So just make sure your body is reasonably comfortable. And I usually like to start the meditation just like how I do my exercise when I'm small. Just taking in breath, very big, and hold and exhale. Take a deep in breath. And exhale. Take another deep in breath. Hold and exhale. Usually we start with just relax the body. Start with the furthest part of our body. Relax the toe. If you can feel your toe, you can wiggle it. Relax the toe because you know that there's not much disease there. Never heard of like a toe cancer. So you can trust that it's the most healthiest part in your body. You can feel all your toes just relaxing. Further up to the sole of your feet. You can feel that lot of tingling sensation around on the bottom of the feet. Because I've been walking barefoot this afternoon. It feels so nice. Relax all the parts. Slowly move up to the ankle. Feel that all the joints in the ankle loose and relax. Move further up to your knees. Feel that my knees are really warm. Very nice feeling. Thank you for bringing all around me today. So grateful that my knees can bend nicely. Now it's just comfortable there. feel that my right hand side of the thigh is a little bit tension. You allow the move to make it more comfortable. It's better. Feel is really relaxed. Even pressure on both sides when I sit. Move further up your pelvis. Feel certain soreness on my right hand side. But it's my old injury. It's alright. Just relax it further. That's better. Move further up to your abdomen. Relax. Whichever tension is there. Relax further up your chest area. Move further up to your shoulder. Feel that there's a little bit tension there. My left hand side of the shoulder. You can do this exercise, just like tense up, then release. Feel that further relax, whichever tension is there. Move further down to your elbow. Relax. Feel your hand also. Just relaxing. Don't need to be in the lotus form or anything. Just place it whichever you feel comfortable. Now we further relax the neck. need to follow whichever described in the book, like cheek tucking or anything. Just place your head on the neck, whichever you feel comfortable. The body knows what to do. You trust your body. Relax your face. Don't need to perform. Don't need to perform up to whoever expectation. Even yourself. Don't need to be better or worse. Because you know that this body and mind belongs to the nature. Just like what we chant in the Metta Sutta, proud and demanding on this nature. Relax around the chin muscle. And your forehead. Can you imagine your brain just like a squash punch? And now it's been released. Can expand back to however the shape is. There's no pull or push. Just like the elastic band is being released from the tension. And allow it to go back to its original form by itself, by its own speed. Now you may ask, mind and body, how can I make you more comfortable here? invite you to bring up one of these memory, which is the most peaceful time and happy. Where is it? And what makes you to feel that happiness? For me, it's one of these times when I just come out from school. There's no homework to be done that day. Feel such a relief. Finish my day. Sitting there, just accepting what is happening now. I'll keep quiet for now. When I start to talk later, it's about the end of the meditation. So enjoy however you feel now. almost close to the end of meditation. How do you feel now? What is the process brings you here? Welcome to open your eyes, to exit the meditation. Welcome back. Wow. See a lot of people coming from all over the world actually. Even saw Poland people. Wow, China. Amadeo group is not Amadeo group already. It's not Australia is been invaded. Now,
we are renaming our group to Amadeo International Meditation Group, I think.
That's very good. It's very happy to see that all the people come from all over the world and practice the same thing, meditation. And you can see that even though different nationality, different things, the mind is still the same old mind. Just like I just reflect on, just remember Ajahn Brahm just came out of my mind because I saw him on the weekend. I'm the Upatha with him at Nolamara. And after the Pinabat, people usually give us the newspaper, weekend newspaper. And Ajahn Brahm went back to the quarters, the monk quarters. The first thing he do is just take out this section which is the comic section. And he didn't flip through all the news. He just reading the comics and do some puzzle on that paper. And just remind me what he speak in one of these public talks. He said that after 7 or 8 years, the first time when he saw a newspaper, English newspaper at Wat Pa Pong, when he read it, he just say that it's just like the people just change, but different people doing corruption or different people go to war. It just, the world is happening the same thing, just different characters doing it. And it just remind me, it's just like because of this greed and hatred, it's just fundamental in this mind. And then that's why people doing all this stuff, it's just repeated history. And not much differences. So, by the way, any question you all want to talk about today? Can give any suggestion, anything. Yes. Sky, Florida.
Hi, Venerable.
Hello.
Thank you so much for all the peace, calm, and samadhi.
Yeah.
Very nice. I have a question. I have a new relative, a cousin.
Mm-hmm.
We've met in the flesh. We share a bloodline. He lives close by, not too close, not close enough. And she's overwhelmed with life. And she's interested in Buddhism. But I don't know how to introduce a person properly who is maybe has some overwhelming suffering going on. I'm afraid to say the thing. Oh, there's construction around here. I hear noises.
Oh, we didn't hear it. It's pretty good here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. And when I know I have to be a better listener for her.
Yeah.
And this is a problem, lifelong problem.
Yeah.
I was brought up to fill the emptiness, in my training, to fill the blank spots, not to enjoy them. So I had a lot of learning to do over the years. And I love my learning, which means, by the way, let me tell you, I love the line you said about Ajahn Brahm. He said, the beautiful breath is within the breath. In other words, don't go look for it or create it. Just find it. I just love that.
Yep.
But getting back to my cousin Jess, I don't know what to say to her. Because when I say something, her answers sound like my answers 30 years ago. I know that. How do you... I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to make them unreceptive. I don't even know how to begin this journey, but I know it's a journey, and I'm excited to be on it. I feel honored, because she has suffered as a child. We both come, whatever, that doesn't matter. Yep. And, but I want to say the right thing. How do you get somebody to flip them from saying, I know, to, oh, that's interesting. I need a one-liner. I need to talk to Ajahn Brahm. I need a one-liner or something.
It's very interesting to be empathy to someone. It's actually, I just noticed this empathy, this word, because I teach the Sunday school on this weekend, just past weekend. Just on the Sunday, teach Sunday school at Nolamara. We talk about friendship. And then I try to split them into groups. And then they start to discuss what is friendship. And then after that, I just jot it down on top of the blackboard and just summarize whichever group that they come up. And one of the group come up with this one word, empathy. And I don't know how to spell it. And I asked the kids help out to me. And when I spell it out, I just noticed that empathy and empty, just one alphabet difference, a H. And you need to be empty to be empathy. If you want to be a good listener, you need to empty yourself first. Just empty how you perceive others, and also how you perceive yourself. That's how you can be empty and listen to other people. And I found out it's so helpful from that wording. It's good on our ancestor which create empathy, that word, which just a H differences with empty. Good on the English.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's a very brilliant word. And Ajahn Brahm, when I just share with him, he add on another thing. He said that if you're not empty, you become psycho then. Because you keep on thinking about it. So it's a very good reflection what he gave me. And it's very interesting.
Also, I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the word. I wrote it down.
Yeah.
And the P and the H. No, the A and the H are missing. But when I was looking, the PATH in the middle of empathy spells path.
Yeah. And actually,
so you stay on the path.
Yep.
Stay empty. And then you can listen better and be a better friend.
Yeah. And actually also it's like each of us, we will find out our answer ourselves. That's one thing very good about Buddhism is we don't force people to come to Buddhism. We always tell people just to come and see for yourself. Test it out. Is it true or not? And that's why I really love this simile. Ajahn Brahm just taught this, not this simile, but what happened on his life when he go and see Ajahn Tate. When Ajahn Brahm went to see Ajahn Tate, I think on his 7 years or 8 years as a monk, when he's still at Thailand, and he went there, he said, oh, he need to make an appointment 3 days ahead just to meet this famous monk, Ajahn Tate. And a lot of people truly believe that he is an arahant. And he just sit beside this hut, watching the Makong River, and very peacefully there. And Ajahn Brahm entered his room, his kuti, and asked, he have a list of questions on the paper. And once he entered, he bowed to the monk, Ajahn Tate. And he just didn't question the question that he have on the paper. He just go blank. He just feels so peaceful. And then all the question on his mind just fade away. But one of the talk, this time he reminded this simile, but one of the talk remind me, he actually questioned one question to Ajahn Tate on that session. He asked him, is it true that everyone find their own answer is the best? And Ajahn Tate said, yes. It's not because we say, I think, not because the monk said that just to get out of trouble or don't have so much problem, people come and see you. It's not about that. It's actually really about when you find the answer yourself, actually you can see that it changes compared to other people always come and tell you what to do. And then sometimes you also find out is that when people come and tell you what to do, yeah, you listen a little bit, but it changes back to old behavior very fast also. But when you yourself find out the answer, it's much easier to follow also. It's quite interesting to see that. Whereas in the Buddhism also, meaningful. And also you experiment with your answer also. You can see that your answer keep on changing also sometimes. Sometimes on my path, when I learned this Buddhism, you say, oh yeah, I know Four Noble Truths. But now if you ask me again, you see that the Four Noble Truths interlink together. And then also interlink with this 7 enlightenment factor also. It's like everything just interlinked together. It's very interesting to see that. Yeah. And especially this 7 enlightenment factor, I always found out, it's like all of us actually is doing already the starting 4, but we didn't go further. It's just like the starting, we have this mindfulness. Is it mindfulness starting? Oh, can't remember now. Started with what? Then investigation, then energy. First must be mindfulness. You're mindful of what you're doing, then you explore what you're doing, then you have energy from it. And then once you have energy, you're happy. But interestingly, our mind always, once we're happy, we find another thing to do. We find another thing to explore. We didn't go further. We didn't drop it off and say that, oh yeah, it's already now. After happiness, then energy coming up, then happiness coming up, then at the end is equanimity. Number 6 is what? Number 6 is stillness. Number 5 is what? Do I skip something? Never mind. So basically it's that's are the 7. But you can see that on our normal life we are doing it also. But just it's not in depth. That's why it's like the meditation, it will help. And also how you help your friends around you on this Buddhism, just being a good Buddhist, I always found. That really encourage other people to be good. Yeah, because you can see that you influence each other. And it's just not one-way ticket, you can say. Just both ways. That's why in Buddhism, when Ananda go and ask Buddha, do you need Kalamita friend, basically Buddhist friend, the whole path or the middle of it, then you drop them off. The Buddha said, no, 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 no. You need your Kalamita friend, the whole path. Basically, it's not just halfway or quarter way. The whole path, you need your friends together. Because you can see that these friends also encourage each other and also help out each other. We remind each other which we are lack of, which we are really good at. Yeah. Just like, it's very interesting, just like the three monks which live very harmony together, Nandya, Kimbala, and Anaruddha. And they are so good together. One of them is very good in meditation. And then one of them is very good with talk and service, which means all the arahants have different qualities. So you can't differentiate them. Not say differentiate, you can't separate them, which say is good or is bad. And just like your nephew, you also can't say that he's suffering. Yeah, he's suffering in certain ways, but certain ways he's happy. Just like now I'm taking care of. Yeah. Now I'm taking care of one of an old gentleman, old anagarika, and I found out it really trained my patience. And also I can see that it also really helpful for my meditation also, because I train as a Chinese like you, also like you, always fill up the empty spot of my time when I'm a young person and I'm just so hyperactive. That's the first time when I'm at monastery, I still remember one of the command of another anagarika said that, I don't know how long you'll be so energetic. The coffee don't help. But they don't know I've been like that since I'm young. And he's quite surprised at me to see that I'm still keep on going so energetically. But now it's slowed down a lot. And also can see that the patient is so much enjoyable. You enjoy your life, don't need to fill up so many activities, and you enjoy the activities itself instead of the result. And that really helped me to see that you can enjoy the process instead of the result. That really helps you to slow down stuff and also appreciate stuff, and you can let go of it much more easier. So,
thank you, Venerable. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was really good because I can look back. I'm coming up on, I think, 9 years of practicing as a lay person, married with a needy husband and luckily I'm retired. But I see the changes and I reflect. I don't know if anybody else can see it, and I used to care about that, but because I see it and I feel it, I don't care what they see because I know what's happening inside me. Yeah. So, you just did a lot of beautiful things. Yeah. I'm going to look up the 7 factors and write them down again. Yeah.
And really allow people to make mistakes. It's all right to make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they learn from it. It's just like Ajahn Brahm didn't sit beside all the monks and say, oh, now you should let go, now you should sit this way, you should sit that way. He doesn't train the monks like that. You can see that he really let us, there's a kuti, there's a place for you to train, and you just go and explore and see what is suitable. And you can see that it's like the environment itself tweak you into what you be. And just trust and have a lot of create an environment which is not so fearful. Not say fearful, it's peaceful basically. So that people can explore. Yeah. Any more questions?
Yeah, thank you, Venerable. Yeah, thank you, Sky. Thank you, Venerable, for very nice meditation. Really enjoyed that. You said a little bit about not analyzing and letting go of analyzing and just kind of, and I find that interesting because I'm a scientist by training, so I'm very used to analyzing all the time. And I do like about meditation stopping to analyze. At the same time, you're often also encouraged to analyze and really look at, maybe even having a journal and writing down what you're experiencing when you're meditating and what the hindrances may be and how you can overcome them. Because, I like to just meditate, but at the same time, I don't think that I'm making progress as such. So when I'm thinking about starting to analyze, maybe I should look into it, but then I feel like I don't really want to because I'm analyzing all the time. Do you have any advice on that?
If you're analyzing, also you can see that the analyze slow down at the end of the meditation. That's why I always really encourage people to do at the end of your meditation. Just ask, how do you feel? And what is the process to get you here? And I always, because of that exercise, that's why you can say that's why I didn't become brownie also. And also keep on meditating because of that advice. And it came from Ajahn Brahm, basically. And Ajahn Brahm said that it came on one of the person he met beside the train station. Somehow they go to a coffee shop. And Ajahn Brahm said that he can't remember that person. And that time he said, oh, yeah, my meditation is worse. I said that this person just gave the advice. He said, just compare at the end of your meditation. Just don't straight away get out and feel how it is. And what's the progress to get you here. And I always found out, even though if I do a lot of analyzing during my meditation, especially on my lay life, because I do my meditation 30 minutes before I go to work. And you can see that on top of my head, I'm planning so much. But at the end of my meditation, I always found it's like I plan less. The momentum of it slow down. It's not so pressure on the head, you can feel that. And you can see that it's almost like a little bit clarity. The mist is not so white in front of your mind. It's much more less misty. And you can feel that it's like much more relaxed on your head. And then one thing you found out also, when you think back about some of the questions, that on top of your head, you have much more clarity what you should do. And that really encouraged me actually to do this meditation. And that's why after that I just switched to feeling, because I found analyzing, especially for me, you take data to analyze. And feeling, you can feel one feeling and you can get deep into it. Basically you feel more peaceful. It's just not like just peaceful. Or even though it's like just sitting like in your thigh currently, or sitting down you feel your bum. You can feel your bum have this certain pressure which you can't describe much about it. But once you feel more, you feel, oh yeah, certain of this spot is different than that spot. But it's just you get more of that feeling out instead of just go into analyzing mode, you can say. And that feeling you can't control that much. That's one thing very relief for me. One thing I found out. And after that, once the feeling on the body, usually you do the relaxation. I found it's so important to do the relaxation first. Because if you straight away go to your mind, you try to relax it, the mind don't know how to do it. It's just so illusionary. But if you start with your body, you can find it's just so easy to relate to it. You can feel the muscle tense up or loosening, and that you can slowly, when you do that, actually when you go back to your mind, you found, yeah, your mind is relaxing. Because this mind and this body is very closely related. And then once it's very relaxed, because his body is relaxed, then it just faded away. It's just like when you go to a perfume shop. When you go inside there, firstly, you can smell the fragrance of the perfume. But after a while, you can't smell it. You need stronger stimulation. You need to take the bottle of that perfume and put it on your nose to smell it. So it's just the same thing. That's why your body fades away. And don't feel shocked about it. It's just, that's what the minds will do. And then once you do it a few times, then you're just so easy with it. And then you're so happy with not analyzing it. And because you see that you're much more happy, your mind just tends to go there. You don't need to worry that, oh, now I don't need to analyze. You don't need to tell it anymore. Once you go to this relaxation mode, it's just, your mind just leaps towards this peacefulness, you can say. So slowly, try it out. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely. I guess it's a mix, right? It's there's always a little bit of everything needed, because at some point in time, I guess you have to look into, what happened and why things happen. And there's actually another thing that you mentioned before about one thing that I found a little bit concerning, and I'm glad that Ajahn Brahm mentioned it at some point in time, is the anxiety you can get from starting to let go in terms of losing yourself, because it is pretty scary, right? If you're suddenly coming to a point where you're losing stuff, like you said, you're starting not to feel your body and things like that. I mean, that's pretty scary. So I think it's good to be aware of that. So I'm happy that Ajahn Brahm mentions that, and you just brought it up as well.
But one thing need to remember, anything you lose, yes, it challenge you, basically, because you feel that you own it. But can tell you the truth, once you really let go of it, you say, what a relief. What a relief. And then it's safe. It's safe to let go of all that stuff. And then you know that it will be there when you come out from the meditation. So don't need to worry about it. So sometimes I feel that this meditation, another word is you're rehearsing your death, actually. It's all right. See how much you can
But that's
lose.
pretty scary, right? That's pretty scary when you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're, as a kind of normal lay person, reversing your death is pretty scary.
Doing it is not that scary. It's thinking about it is always scary. Just like when you're thinking a first day you want to go to work. You don't know the environment. That's why you're scared, definitely. But after you go there and work for a while, it's just like, it's just normal. Just normal, just like same like the world, just politics, outside politics about the world. But when you go to office, still office politics, just the same thing. Once you interact with human, it's the same thing. So when you do meditation, you say, oh yeah, something fades away. Yeah, just normal. You get used to it. Not so looking forward to it, actually, you can say. You just be with it. It's just like another signpost you reach. Oh yeah, this is what it is. It's all right. You're saved. And maybe the last 2 or 3 minutes I just talked about last time, I have a question which I didn't answer. Actually, I don't know how to answer also. The previous Amadel group, which people asked about space element and how does it relate back to these 5 khandhas. I found out a sutta, actually. It's talk about space element. It's Majjhima Nikaya 140. And if based on Sujato's translation, the title is Analyzing of All Elements, if I'm not mistaken. That's the title. And it's basically went through all these 6 elements and 6 senses, 18 mind mind preoccupation, and then because of that 18 mind preoccupation, that you understand these 4 wisdom. Is it 4 wisdom? No. 4 foundation. And the 4 foundation is basically the wisdom, the truth, and generosity. And at the end is what? Peacefulness. And these 6 elements is actually, the first 4. I know the first 4, which is the water, fire, earth, and earth, and wind. And then the 5th one is the space element. It's pretty interesting. And the 6th one is the consciousness element. And when the Buddha talked about all these 6 elements, it's actually just integration within this internal element and outer element is the same. It's just like this earth element, you feel this physical earth element. And this outside element, which is the earth, the soil, is the same. It's just like, in modern terms, it's the atom. Whichever atom inside here you have, they have iron atom, because you know that your hemoglobin, you need some iron atom to carry oxygen. And then the iron atom is just the same as whichever we found on the ground. So whichever you have it here internally and externally is the same, basically. So you can't call it, this is you, this is me. And you can't say that outside that atom, iron atom is mine, because it's just, that's not you. And then when you talk about space one, it's basically very interesting. You say that this nostril inside here have this space, and this ear inside here have this space. And it's not much different compared to the space, me and this screen. Just the same space, can't differentiate them. But once it comes to this, very interestingly, comes to this consciousness element, it didn't differentiate this internal my experience consciousness and your consciousness. It just go into this analyze of this 16 preoccupation, mind preoccupation. It's just basically saying that all these 6 elements will create 3 different stages. Not 6 stages. These 3 different. You're happy about it, or you're sad about it, or you feel neutral about it. Based on these 6 senses. When you touch something, just like me, I touch myself, just feel neutral feeling. Not much differences. And then if I touch, let's say this bowl here, and then I just feel happy because it's the meditation singing bowl. And if you touch something thorny, it poke you, you feel pain. And then based on these 6 senses, all of them, what you see, what you touch, what you taste. So basically you will create these 3 different stages of feeling. But once the object, basically whichever you sense, and the consciousness together, only you have this feeling. But one of it is cut off, which means the consciousness stay by itself. It's just like when you touch, when you have this fire touches you, then you feel the fire, you feel the pain. But once there's no fire, this just collapses. It's just left the consciousness of the mind. And that's why at the end, why the Buddha didn't analyze, I think he didn't analyze this, because once all these 5 elements fade away, just left this consciousness element. Once only have this consciousness element, it's just you're feeling the mind basically. It's just pure and happy. What is describing inside there is just pure, radiating and powerful. And because based on this, am I progressing correctly? Yes, I'm progressing correctly. And then based on this, because you're radiating and you have this equanimity, you experience the infinite consciousness. Actually, what it describes in there is the arupa jhanas. And if you know there's 4 jhanas, then after that it leads to another four, which is the arupa jhana, which is actually you're experiencing the collapsing, I call it the collapsing of the mind, basically. It's very, how to say, very not say undescribable, very sound like very Zen. It says in the text, it just say that you experience, you feel the infinity of the space. You say, what do you mean infinity of the space? Space is infinity in the first place. But I couldn't understand that also. But you can see that it's basically what I understand from it is basically is the mind, the consciousness is slowly fading away. And it says that it's also been conditioned. The condition is because you have equanimity, that's why you enter that stages. And then because you see that, that's why you see that, oh yeah, all of this is have condition. And then if you want to die away, inside the passage says that if you don't have the craving or the intention to birth or end birth, because you don't have that intention, that's why you don't have that anxiety to exist or not exist. And then because you don't have that anxious, that's why you fade away, ceases at the end. And that's the first wisdom that you get from basically how to end all this suffering. And then the truth, you definitely will protect this truth because that's what you learn from it. And then the third one, why your generosity? Because all this greed is fading away, just describing in that sutta is just basically describing what's the quality of an arahant. Because you don't have greed, that's why you don't hunt for stuff, you don't keep stuff. You can give away stuff so easily. That's why Ajahn Brahm said that when he go and visit Ajahn Chah's kuti, it's just so simple. Just a wooden pillow and a mattress there in his bag. That's it. Nothing else is there. So you can understand why Arahant don't accumulate stuff, because there's no point anymore. It's like, why do I keep all this stuff for? And then because of that also you don't have ill will, and you don't have malicious thought. That's why you're peaceful. I always feel that in my meditation, I feel that it's like wanting and ill will is actually the same hand. It's just like you want peace. It's actually you don't want to be irritated. At the back you see that. At the back of here, you see that you don't want irritation. That's why you want something. So once you have greed, you definitely have ill will. But if you don't have greed, you definitely don't have ill will also. So it just comes hand in hand. That's why you can say Ajahn Brahm sometimes describe these 5 hindrances, especially just 2 hindrances, the wanting and don't want, the ill will and wanting. Because once you solve that 2, other 3, not much problem. They just fade away. Oh, I dragged overtime. Sorry about that. Organizer, 7 minutes. You need to charge me overtime.
Yeah, we will give you our happiness and contentment from the session as your overtime salary for today. Is that enough? I hope that is enough. Okay, so
yeah.
Thank you so much, Venerable, for joining us.
Yep.
We have come to the ending time, obviously, so I think we can just leave now. I will not ask for. Do
you do a sharing merit before we end this?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
okay,
of course.
Let's do this one. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much for listening.
So much.
So good night and good morning, whichever time they are, or good afternoon.
Thank you, Venerable.
Yep.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Venerable.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.